Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Tunaverse episode. How's everybody doing today? First of all, I'd like to start off with today we are sponsored by Starkist, brought to you by the finest tuna, and whatever is not tuna is definitely dolphin and turtle fins. I'm just kidding, I'm not sponsored. But one more thing we have to cover. If tonight is your first night in the Tunaverse, you have to drink the tuna juice. Those are the rules. How's everybody doing tonight? Or this morning? Mason, I see you're already in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I'm just messing about, Mason. I'm just messing around. You know, the first rule of Fight Club is, well, the first rule of Tunaverse is you have to drink the tuna juice. Second rule of the Tunaverse is you have to drink the tuna juice. 5 a.m. and 3 cups in. My man, sucking down that coffee. So today, I'm really tired. I've been staying up a little bit too late with Grumpy lately, and I can only imagine how he feels because it's like when we're getting off, it's like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. his time. And I didn't get to sleep too well this morning after I got the kids on the bus. So, Twitch guy definitely sucks it down. So I'm pretty tired. I'm going to keep this. Oop, I left my phone on. I'm going to keep this as a reactionary type Tunaverse Tuesday and just kind of relax and take some things in with you guys. There are going to be some hot takes, and today we're going to be covering something other than just Star Citizen. Today we're going to cover a little bit of Star Wars. So let me make sure I got my screen capture set up. It's probably going to go black for a minute. Yep, it did. Hold on a second. I messed it up. Hold on a second. Hopefully that comes on. Should be going on. Why isn't it capturing it? Yes, I want that one. Oh God. Here I go being stupid. Give me. There we go. Thank you, Streamlabs. So first we're gonna start with some Star Wars. Okay. I saw this video, and I said I got to do this. So first off, Star Wars. Let me know if the sound is okay on your end. Make sure I get this pumped up. This is a video by Gem Reviews. I've seen a few of his videos. Some of his stuff I agree with, some of his stuff I don't. And I saw this while I was at work on break, and well, let's just say I had to. Sorry, I forgot to do this. That's my bad. Okay. One of the reasons why I don't do reactions is because I choose things that I have knowledge on. All right? I want to make sure that I'm knowledgeable about the things I'm going to speak on. If you are going to get on here and do a reaction, know what you're talking about. The character's name is Ahsoka. sorry for pausing like one right after the other. I want to let you guys know I am not a fan of the Disney Star Wars stuff. Okay, they've had a couple of good hits, and then the rest have been misses. The sequel trilogy was hot crap, but then they did what was that called? Rogue One. Rogue One was awesome. Mandalorian season 1, great. Season 2, it had its ups and downs. Season 3, it's not looking so hot right now. Book of Boba Fett was pretty bad. The Obi-Wan show was pretty bad. The only saving grace in that was having Vader and Obi-Wan fight at the end. And even then, that kind of breaks the canon, at least in my opinion. It just does. I think they should have just left it at him, leaving him on the steps of Mustafar on the lava embankment, and that should have been it. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some YouTube guy okay? I like Star Wars. As a matter of fact, I love Star Wars, but pre-Disney stuff. Pre-Disney. My sequel trilogy is the Heir to the Empire books. That's what I wanted the sequel trilogy to be. If you guys aren't familiar with the sequel trilogy, Heir to the Empire, fantastic set of books. They should have done that instead of doing whatever the crap was that we got for the sequel trilogy, because it was awful. I'm going to let him go for a little while, and then I'll probably pause it again. Okay. He has no idea who these characters are. None. So I'm going to back it up a little bit. So we got Sabine. She was from Rebels. There's Ahsoka again. Hera Sabula, Chopper, both from Rebels. The guy with the beard is more than likely possibly Ezra. The chick with the white hair might be Mara Jade. I don't know. We'll see. Once again, he has no knowledge. As far as I know, Sabine has never been confirmed nor denied as a lesbian. Ahsoka, neither confirmed nor denied as a lesbian. So I don't know where he's getting this from. Will they do it in the show? I don't know. But as far as current Star Wars lore goes, neither of them, as far as I know, have been confirmed as a lesbian. So once again, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm going to stop him again right there. That lady in the middle right there is more than likely Mon Mothma, who was an original character from the original trilogy. I do not like it if you're going to get on and do a review or a reaction and not know who the hell you're talking about. This is more than likely Mon Mothma. She was the leader of the rebels during the whole galactic civil war. So this is not new. This is not new that he didn't just whip this up for the show. This is not female empowerment. This is not down with the patriarchy. She was one of the original leaders. So if you're going to talk, please at least have somewhat of an idea of what the hell you're talking about. Star Wars has always had diversity from the word go. Yes, the original movie had a lot of white characters in it, but there was aliens everywhere. Everywhere. Aliens everywhere. Everywhere. So don't give me this shit about how there was no alien representation in the Star Wars movies. The aliens were all over the Rebel Alliance side. Everywhere. From this guy named, I don't know, Admiral Akbar, Jar Jar, who I hate, but hey, he's there. The Ewoks, Chewbacca, Yoda. Don't give me this, we have to be diverse, so we're going to throw in a weird alien in here. Come on. Come on. And I agree with that, Mason. Anakin was probably the only person she had any sort of deep, meaningful relationship with. And I would call it love, but not in the traditional I'm in love with you and we have to have a relationship that is, sexual in nature, but a relationship that was almost like brother sister, and then later on almost father daughter like in season 7 of the Clone Wars. Oh look, another alien. This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, if the guy with the white hair, yes, sibling and camaraderie, not romantic. I agree with that. Here's Thrawn. Once again, alien representation. Is he going to say anything about that? And the guy with the white beard and the white hair might possibly be Ezra, because in Rebels, which I did not like the way they did this, but in Rebels, the last time we saw Ezra and Thrawn, they were being whisked away by space aliens into the Nether universe. That might be Ezra. So once again, please attempt to know what you're talking about. Oh, and Thrawn is by far one of the best written, if you read Heir to the Empire, one of the best villains ever written in the Star Wars universe. He is so deep, so... I don't even know if I have the word for it. He's so... He's one of the most amazing characters. We need more bad guys like Thrawn. You cannot have a good story without a good bad guy. You can't have an amazing good guy protagonist unless you have an amazing bad guy. And Thrawn was that amazing bad guy. He made those stories go next level and made the characters within those stories go next level. It was amazing. It was some of the best reading you'll do if you like Star Wars. Yeah. Sorry, my wife's showing off her pants. Yeah, I like it. Remember, I fell in love with you wearing those weird Echo parachute pants. This more than likely is going to be Ezra. If it's not, I'm wrong. But that's what the other guy just said. So, once again, please have an idea of the lore before you go jumping in and doing a reaction. Hera. Okay, black guy. Are we gonna really? This is. I don't. They're not race swapping any characters. What are you getting on about? This is just some random lieutenant or commander within the Republic Navy. They're not race swapping. So what are you getting on about? Seriously, what are you getting on about? And oh my God, Amon Calamari on the left-hand side. Oh, what should we ever do? I mean, one of the greatest characters in the Star Wars universe that was not a main character was Admiral Akbar, and it was a damn shame what they did to him in the sequel trilogy. He dies off screen. So stupid. Yeah, don't they know anything? Watching Ahsoka get her ass handed to her over and over and over and over and over and over again throughout the Clone Wars. Oh, these people don't know anything. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. I'll save my Ahsoka rant for when he's done. How does Star Wars Ahsoka, the cast of the Rebels TV show, have anything to do with the World Cup? Did I watch all of the Rebels TV show? I did not. I watched what was considered. I considered what was the essentials. I watched what was considered the essentials, and that was it of Rebels. That's all I wanted to watch. Ahsoka is not Rey. Ahsoka is not Rey Skywalker, Palpatine, whatever the hell she calls herself these days. Once again, if you're going to react on something, make sure you're knowledgeable on the source. You are showing that you are not knowledgeable on the source. And how do we know that this is going to be some LGBTQ woke crap? Is it because it's Disney? Possibly. But we don't know that yet. We don't know that yet. The show hasn't even come out. It doesn't come out until August. Okay, I will give him this. Outside of MMA and maybe professional wrestling, women's sports is dull, boring. I give you the WNBA. I give you the WNBA. Okay, nobody watches it. The only thing that men watch is when it comes to female sports is MMA, lingerie football league, and the WWE. I'm sorry, but that's all they watch. That this is not a shot at women. I'm not saying that women shouldn't have their own sports or be professional or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. But it's not going to draw the same kind of money as the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, you know, men's World Cup is just not going to do it. It's just not. I'm sorry. It's not. Go just watch some highlights from a WNBA game and it'll explain everything I'm saying. Oh, so we're going to skip over to some of the greatest female warriors on screen as well, like Ellen Ripley, Sarah Connor, Xena, Warrior Princess. Um, you know, I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting. I'm not saying they went toe to toe with men and beat them, but they were great in their own way. Oh, Padme Amidala, that's another one. Ahsoka. They don't always win, and that's the cool thing about it. Did Ellen Ripley win in the end? Yes. Did Sarah Connor win in the end? Yeah, with help. Did Ahsoka win in the end? Yeah, once again with help. They're knowledge, please. Oh, and I forget her name. The chick from Conan the Barbarian. Arnold's love interest in that. She was a badass as well. Are you kidding me? God bless America. God bless America. I accidentally hit the fudging hotkey to mute this son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Motherfuck. God damn it. God damn it. Well, I know what I'm doing tomorrow morning.
We don't buy it. We don't believe it. We don't
I'm gonna
find
do a
that
take two.
entertaining because it is so detached from reality, and you pull it to such a point where you don't have just one. No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Fucking
all
Twitch
of
guy.
them. All of them are strong women, all girl bosses. Damn skinny little 40-pound anorexic girl there. She's the boss lady. It is so stupid and it's so fucking boring that I cannot bear it anymore.
I'm really fucking pissed about that.
Either. See you on the next one. Take care.
Yeah. So outside of me fucking up that entire video,
I want to.
fuck me in the ass. God damn it. I'm taking that hotkey off. That's twice I've done that shit. Anyways, let's go down the Ahsoka path. He was hating on her pretty hard. When she first showed up on screen, I was not an Ahsoka fan. I did not like her. I thought she was a waste of space in Star Wars, the Clone Wars TV show. I hated her. I hated her. I thought she was stupid. Really, I did. I thought she was stupid. And then a handful of episodes in, they give her command of her own wing of ARC fighters from in the Clone Wars, and she gets pretty much everybody killed. And for the next few seasons, it's her absolutely messing up everything, and Anakin and Obi-Wan and Yoda slowly building her back up into the good warrior or the great warrior that she turns out to be. She loses many fights along the way, though. She never straight out overpowered anybody. She did get people killed along the way. She even herself was excommunicated from the Jedi Order. So it wasn't like she just picked up a lightsaber and was started handing people their asses. It was a long, slow journey. I'm really pissed that I apparently double hit the volume for desktop. God damn it. I'm definitely changing that because that's a few times I've done it. Anyways, thanks for listening to me rant without hearing what he had to say. I'm going to fix that tomorrow and make a video and have that out to you guys tomorrow morning. I apologize. This is what happens when you get a caveman running the show. Yeah, I'm going to rebind. I need to get, like, you know how there's an easy button from Staples? I need to get a button that I can hit that says do better. I'm definitely, when I start getting a cash flow that I can put in towards this, I'm going to definitely come up with some commands that you guys can put in to also make fun of me, like, you know, do better and tuna juice and things like that. Twitch guy. Exactly, Mason. Starkiller was the dark side apprentice. She was the light side apprentice. And this guy just doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm going to have to fix the damn audio for this. I'm going to probably end up editing this live stream. This really sucks. This really sucks. So, now that we're done with that, and I fucked that up royally, we're going to do another video. It's a bit longer, but I watched it and I thought it was really good. You know, they're bringing you into this conversation, wife. They said you need to hit me like an old TV to get me working again. Ah, she's ignoring me. What am I gonna do here? Oh yes, the other video I wanted to watch. Where is it? This guy. That's what we wanted to watch.
Go away! I keep telling you.
Once again, before we let this go, I try to react and give my thoughts on things that I'm knowledgeable about. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. Because I'm not going to make a video like this guy did previous to me. You couldn't hear him, but he was all over the place with the shit he was saying. Now, one thing I do know is Star Citizen and Star Citizen griefing, PvP, and the such. So we're going to see what this guy has to say. I watched about 3 minutes of it, 4 minutes of it, and I liked what he was saying, and I want to share with you guys. You know what? Before I do that, I should be professional about this and share the link, because, you know, that's the professional thing to do. All right, now let's go back. I need a second screen.
Go away!
So, this is River Grit, and this is griefing from the PvPer's perspective. Can you edit your reaction and share on your Discord? I mean, I'm probably, I don't know, I'm probably going to make I should probably make a short of me realizing I fucked everything up. It might be funny. So, we're going to check out this guy. I watched about 3 minutes of it. It was pretty good what I heard. And, yeah, griefing from the PvPer's perspective by River Grit.
Go away! I keep telling you.
He's down.
Did he just say go away?
Yes.
Good enough to kill our friends.
Oh, I've been here for fucking 5 hours.
Let's just get this straight. There's
Thanks,
nothing
Mason.
worse than people throwing the G word around.
You goddamn Christopher!
From day one, I've heard this word being used like all the time. And I've come to realize the whole community has a different definition of what this word means. So today, let's dissect what's griefing and what's not. And then I'll give you my opinions on the matter, so be prepared to be triggered. In the PU, we've come to realize that the most common use of the word griefing comes from someone who actively kills someone with like no reason at all. So for example, killing someone when you have nothing to gain, or you know, they had no cargo, or they had no intention to fight but you kill them anyway. But that definition is completely false. Alright, let's just squash this right here, because it's a sandbox, and I'm going to explain why. But honestly, Salty Mike put it really, really well in one of the videos that I actually liked from him.
That's the thing. You can't
claim that Star Citizen is this wonderful, great sandbox, because I'm sure people defend it on this end all the time, and then when you get sand thrown on you, then it's all of a sudden, is this ethical? Did you have a reason to do that?
Yeah, he's
I love that take. I'm not the biggest Salty Mike fan. There's some things that he says that I really don't agree with, and there's some things that I do like. That's one of the things I like. Now, previous to me starting this YouTube channel, I did a lot of PvPing, a lot of shooting people down, a lot of getting boots down on the ground and blasting people on the back of the head or in the front of the head if they were looking. Yeah, I don't see what the problem is. As they said, this is a sandbox. Every once in a while, somebody's going to throw sand at you. If you don't like it, I mean, I really don't know what to tell you. I don't want to say get out of the sandbox or get good or anything like that. Everybody has a right to play this game the way they want to, but just be aware that there are people out there that are either going to A, shoot you down just because they saw you and they like pretty explosions, B, they're pirates and they want what's yours, or C, they just like killing things. I mean, that's just the way it is in Star Citizen. Be prepared for somebody to come after you. There are ways to mitigate getting pirated. There's ways to mitigate getting shot down right outside of the station. I've talked about it at length. I should probably talk about it again. I keep saying that, but I should probably talk about it again on this channel. I've talked about it on other channels. There are ways to mitigate the danger. Will you make it completely safe? No, you're not going to make it completely safe. Does wearing a seatbelt make you completely safe? No, it doesn't. But it's a way to mitigate danger to yourself.
He's got a point. I mean, honestly. So whether you like it or not, I mean, it's a sandbox and someone's bound to throw sand on you. All right, hold up. Let me get this off my chest. Players need to know what they're getting into before downloading this game. If you're looking to solo grind, you're more than welcome to, but don't complain when someone ruins your immersion and kills you for absolutely no reason, because it can happen. And they don't need a reason either. You're not immune to PvP just because you stand up on a soapbox in global chat and tell everybody you're a medic. Listen, there's always going to be piracy, assholes, and people like us that just want to salt farm. I mean,
I love salt farming. I do have a counterpoint, and maybe he'll get to it, maybe he won't. Hey, what's up there, Ken? How you doing? PvP needs to be a thing. PvP needs to be a thing. It has to be a thing. Otherwise, this game has nowhere to go. It has nowhere to go. It has nowhere to grow. But here's my counterpoint. There should be a safe area for people that want to be left alone. And I'm not saying make a PvP slider or PvP enabled, PvP unenabled, or however you may be thinking about it. What I'm saying is there has to be an area that's safe, that cargo runners can do their cargoing, miners can go do their mining thing, you know, whatever, hand mining or rock mining. But I want it to be set up this way. If you're going to be in an area that has no risk, then there should be very little reward. If you're going to go to an area with high risk, there should be very high rewards. That's how it should be. There's a lot of video games that make that a thing. So that's my only counterpoint to him. You know, he's saying that, you know, you can't get up on your soapbox and say, I don't want a PvP, I'm a medic. Or leave me alone, I'm just mining out here by myself. You don't get to do that. Not yet. But then again, we don't have a safe zone yet. And Armistice doesn't count because Armistice is going to eventually go away. I'm going to let him continue now.
that's the best part about this game. You're free to play as you want. And if you didn't have the threat of someone potentially killing you, then the game would just be ass. It would be terrible. The definition of griefing is pretty simple. It's like 4 things. It's pad ramming, it's stream sniping, it's targeting another single player or group in an effort to thwart a singular progression, and it's utilizing exploits or cheats to gain an unfair advantage. It's that simple. Anything else is free game. But let's dive in and take a look at each one of those, because I'm sure there's some info there that you might not know about.
I've been called
pad
murderer hobo
rammers.
so many times.
We all hate pad rammers. Even people like me who just kill everybody they see in the PU hate pad rammers. It just shows that you have no skill, and the only way you can effectively kill someone is through a pad ram. Because God forbid they exit the hangar and you have to showcase some skills to actually kill the person. However, CIG clearly states that pad ramming only refers to ramming a ship that's on a pad that can spawn vehicles. So the key word here is a pad that can spawn vehicles. The reason I'm saying that is a lot of people think pad ramming on mining outpost pads are bannable, but they're really not. It's not even against TOS. It's the Platinum Bay pads that are. So that said, mining outpost pads are actually free game, but we all know it's a cuck move and it actually lowers your credit score, so I wouldn't do it. Alright, stream snipe.
Pad ramming is awful. They are awful. And oh yes, Ken, you're absolutely right. You play a game like Overwatch or Battlefield, any of those where they got the trinity of DPS, tank, and healer, the healers are going to be targeted first. That's just the way it goes. I've seen Hell Let Loose, and I've seen the medics in there, and they get targeted immediately. You don't want healers getting the guys back up. So healers, I'm sorry, medics, healers, all you guys got a big target on your back whenever you're playing. That's just how it is. But yeah, I hate pad ramming. I agree with him on that. Pad ramming is awful. Like he said, it shows you have no skill.
Honestly, this should be a given. I don't think I really need to cover this one. However, it doesn't mean you can't kill a streamer or a content creator or something like that. I mean, for example, I have Blasphemous on my friends list, and whenever me and the Pax boys run into him naturally in game, and they're doing JT or something, which be sure we're gonna fight. I mean, we never go after them because they're streaming or anything like that. But hell, if I see you on the server and you're a streamer, be sure as shit, I'm probably gonna try to kill you. Targeting a player or a group. So speaking,
stream sniping is pretty dirty. I'm not a fan of it. You know, same thing. I have a couple of streamers on my friends list, like Jonathan Winters, Marcus, Cannot. You know, I think Star Streams is on my friends list as well. I also believe V is on my friends list too, also known as Space Shorts. When I see them on, I don't immediately fire up YouTube on my phone or my laptop and try to figure out where they are and go after them. No, that's dirty. I'm sorry, it's dirty. But if I run out into them, into the verse, and I happen to be in a ship that can take them, I'm probably gonna give them a what's up.
speaking of Blasphemous, I heard he had some issues with this a little bit ago, where he would just have people who constantly would try to kill him, and they'd hop servers and stuff like that. I hate that shit. If you're following someone server to kill them repetitively, that's not cool. And skill or not, it's kind of an ass move. Like, but sitting outside of Grim and killing everybody that comes through, that's free game, man. That's not excessive killing or anything like that. You're just killing, dude. They have the right to go to another server if they want. I think the last piece that I'd tack on there.
Yeah, if hopping server to server to kill somebody over and over again and keep them from playing the game, that's a shit move and should not be done. Same thing, Mason, and I wouldn't actually stream snipe, but I would definitely be on high alert looking for those guys, because the guys that don't play the game but just do constant ship meets, or I've caught a few videos and streams of guys where all you're doing is looking at the side or the outside of a ship while they're in quantum and then flying around a planet. I don't understand that gameplay. I don't get it. I understand doing a ship meet. That's pretty fun. But if that's all you do, it's like the comment I got on one of my videos where I made a video about how you can make easy money immediately after a wipe, just so that you can buy some extra armor, maybe some ammo for your guns, maybe buy a few guns, maybe add some rockets or different shields to your ship, your starting ship, by going and farming some of the safe areas, some of the armistice zones areas. And I was told by somebody, well, if this is how you play the game, it's boring. I told them to please refer to the title of the video and the intro. This is to get some early money quick at the beginning of a wipe, or if you're a new player, just to get used to the game. I would never play like that. I just couldn't. It would be way too boring. It's the same thing with like mining. I would never just strictly be a miner. I would get too bored with just mining all the time. I would have to go and do something else. But that being said, everybody should be able to play the game they want to play. I just find it boring how some other people play it.
There's like hitting people up IRL or something like that and like spamming them with bullshit. That's not cool either. The next one's kind of weird. I haven't seen much of it. I've only seen a few instances where this happens. It's exploits, and exploits suck. Now, I'm not talking about like weird exploits that the game allows for, like putting scimitars on ions and infernos and stuff like that, when it only takes 50 meters to, you know, target someone and pretty much one-tap them. I'm talking about exploits like, you know, you're glitching yourself into a rock and shooting people, but they can't shoot back. Or like you're glitching through walls at JT and like sneaking in or something like that. I think that's cheesy, and you honestly suck at the game if you're doing it that way.
There's another exploit that he hasn't talked about. I don't know how to do it. I believe Canop knows how to do it, but I don't think he's ever done it with the intention of trying to ruin somebody's gameplay. He's done it for comedy purposes. You can make yourself go invisible or make another player go invisible. I don't know how to do it, but that has been a big thing. People will do the thing to make themselves go invisible or their buddy go invisible, and then they'll go out to an area and they'll purposely get a crime stat on one of the guys while the invisible guy is murdering them all, or they'll go into a bunker and the invisible guy will and start murking everybody in there, or go to Jump Town and do the same thing. And that's not cool. The invisible thing sucks. You can also do it to ships as well. Once again, also not cool. I've had it happen to me pre-stream. I haven't caught it on stream since. Yes, exactly, Mason. Exactly. That's how you do it.
I see all these PvE lords on Reddit or YouTube and stuff like that crying, oh, you should do something to, you know, dial back the griefers or stuff like that. It's not going to happen. The game allows for death, and most of us all have alts that we keep in prison to send merits to our main anyway.
That's the thing right now, too. You know, I want to make another counterpoint. I'm sorry I keep pausing. Another counterpoint is I said that there needs to be safe zones. Right now in 318, if you go to prison, you know, this is the problem with being a PvPer, is if you get no legit PvP fights where, you know, you pass each other, drop flares, and it's a one-on-one, right? Whether it's a natural PvP or you're forcing it by hanging out outside of Grimhex or something like that, somebody's going to charge you with a crime. If you die and you go to prison, you're running the risk of being stuck in prison until the next wipe, or until they reset your character. So there is some severe consequences right now in 318 for being a PvPer, and I'd like to see that go away as well. And even if you don't have an alt account, you get hit with, let's say you go maximum, you got 24 to 25 hours in real life to get out of prison. You go and do a couple of O2 missions. I don't want to say a couple. You do like 4 O2 missions. You're going to be out. It's going to take you 30 minutes to do it. So it's not like you're in prison for a super long period of time. I'm not saying make prison more punishing. It's already punishing enough, especially now in 318, outside of being stuck in prison for infinity. You can get killed in prison again, and that you don't want that to happen. And if you kill somebody else in prison while you got that little thing up here, the little satellite doodad, they add more time to your sentence. So, you know, there is consequences for PvPers. A lot of the things I see on Spectrum and Reddit act like there is no consequences for PvPers. There is a consequence for PvPers.
So higher prison times aren't even going to work. Some of us, we just don't kill for the alpha UEC. We kill for the salt. We don't care about the money. We don't care about the rep. Not to mention, seeing you in global chat having a complete meltdown is kind of funny. What blows my mind is the amount of salt and toxicity the PvE community has. They're the most toxic community in Star Citizen, when in all reality, what people don't realize is The most positive, uplifting, and friendliest group of Star Citizen players are the PvP community. It's a small group and everybody knows each other. I mean, there's only a handful of top-tier PvP orgs in the game, and they have all the best pilots and PvP players. I mean, AVS, Black Fleet, Ramming Department, Pax Mortis, LR, just to name a few. However, the majority of them are pretty small and they're all in-house. I mean, you'll catch them in AC all the time, but when they're in the PU, some of them run blue and bounty hunt, but then there's the ones that run red too. Like I said, these guys pretty much all know each other, and they fight each other in AC and in the PU all the time. However, the majority of them get the most satisfaction from giving other players tips and advice to help them get better. I mean, they want others to share in the same joy that they find competitively fighting in the game. In conclusion, this is a sandbox. So let's be real, I have my game loop and you have yours. And honestly, if it wasn't for you guys, I would have nothing to do in the PU. And if it wasn't for me, you'd have a no-skill game to play. But don't call me a griefer just because I kill everybody I see. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Rivergrit, and if you see me in the verse, then GG's in advance.
Nice. Nice. He did a good job at that. He did a really good job on that. Let me make sure I share that as well. You know, gotta be professional, you know. He's also going to get a sub from me as well, because I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. So check that guy out. There's another thing I'd like to add to the PvP, PvE, griefer, murder hobo discussion, and that is a lot of what I see on Spectrum and Reddit is, how do I say this? It's somebody on there, 99% of the time it starts like this. I was out in the verse, minding my own business, hauling my Quantanium from one spot to another, and somebody just randomly killed me for no reason. I work, I have very little time to play the game, make the griefers stop. That was not griefing. You had a load of Quantanium. You were taking it from point A to point B. They shot you down and they took your stuff. That's called pirating. Just because you work a 40-hour job or an 80-hour job or however many hours you work, or you work from home, doesn't mean that you're immune from somebody shooting you down in this game. Currently, it's a sandbox. Currently, we're playing in a medium security sector or system. Currently, we have Armistice. And currently, we're so spread out. I've actually had a change of heart on this. We are so spread out across this one system. There is no real need to hire escorts. I've changed my view on this. I've talked to, at length, Space Shorts, Starstreams, Jack Axton. They get pirated once or twice a year, and they are big-time streamers. Once or twice a year they get pirated. So you're telling me that Joe Jim Bob, that worked a 9 to 5, got home, ate his dinner, put his kids to bed, and jumped on at 8:30 at night, every Monday through Friday that he decides to jump on and play for the 2 hours, he's getting getting griefed immediately? No, he's not. And if he happens to be that statistical anomaly that, yeah, it's happening to him like that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Get training. Find ways to mitigate it. I will probably have to do a video on how to mitigate stuff. Just a basic one on some basic flying and some basic navigation, because I think that's what a lot of people forget. Oh, and basic use of radar. Every ship has a radar. Why are we not using the radar? I don't get it. And just because they're blue doesn't mean they're friendly. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I liked what he did there. I like what he had to say. He was well thought out, well put together. His camera is amazing. Eventually, I'll get a camera as well. So we'll see what happens. But check out Rivergrit. I'm gonna check out more of his stuff. I really liked his perspective on PvP, PvE, griefing, and all of that. So yeah, it was really cool. We're going to check out one more thing. and then I'm going to call it an early night tonight. I got to get some sleep, and I'm going to do a take 2 on the Star Wars thing and release that early morning-ish, because that, damn, I can't believe I messed up that part. I really can't. So the next one is not a video. The next one is a Spectrum post. Now, I know I said I was not going to speak about things, pardon me, that I'm not knowledgeable about. So I'm going to tell you straight out, this is stuff that I am not very knowledgeable about. What this is a post in Spectrum from a guy saying that he works in database for a major corporation. I've kind of thought this for a long time, especially now that my daughters have a few games. So I'm going to preface my limited knowledge about what I'm going to start talking about. My daughter's got a game that in order to play the game, you have to code the game that you want to play, and then you can play it. But as soon as you exit the game, it goes back to being just a coding game, a coding. And in order to play the game, you have to then code the game that you want to play. And my daughters have been getting pretty good at it. So I've watched them and I've asked them questions. Now, outside of that, when I hit the tilde and I type in r underscore display info 1, I've played a lot of games where you could use the console commands to manipulate the game. All right, so that's my limited knowledge, okay? What this guy says makes total sense to me in my limited knowledge. So the poster his name is Jiggity, and it's titled "The Ships Purchased with Cash Money Database." And he says, so if the ships purchased with Cash Money Database is a database that doesn't need to be wiped, why don't they just clone that database and use the clone for the ships purchased with in-game currency database? I mean, obviously the ships purchased with Cash Money Database is far superior, right? I'm just a senior database administrator for a global market shareholding tech company for enterprise backup that runs on a database, but maybe I just don't understand how development works. I'm going to stop right there for a second. I agree 1,000%. How this game has been out, I do not see how people do not understand. Player Quant 1 is part of the game. Yes, I also agree, Ken. So there's a few back and forths that go on, and I want to get down to what this guy says. Odin Avenger, from what I understand, it relates to 318 and the need for wipes. The PES database is a graph database. The user ledger and the in-game assets is an SQL database. So I'm assuming he's talking about how they're two separate databases. The 40K issues related to the association between the SQL database, specifically as it relates to user ID and the asset registry, and quantifying what is where in the game. Now, as I said, I don't understand all of this. I have a basic knowledge of it, but I don't know a lot of it. This is why they have reworked the deliver cash money purchase ships at ASOP terminals. There was a post earlier today that very clearly explained the need to get the replication layer separate from the current iteration. This will remain an issue. This will remain an issue until they solve this problem. Whether the intended wipes for 3.18.1 hard fix for the user ID issue and the 3.18.2 wipe deploying a new service that regulates entitlement process will fix this remains to be seen. I think we're in for a rough few weeks. So they go back and forth, and Jiggity says, so they don't have competent staff. The database structures tables have nothing to do with the actual data. They can simply export it as a CSV, for example, fix the database structure, and then import the data back with a script to direct data to the newly named tables. It's not a technical limitation. I personally have never heard of a company that had to wipe from a database to update structures in the database. That would be clown shoes. Imagine a bank losing everyone's accounts because they updated a database. You can migrate data from pretty much every single database that exists to another in today's modern era. Seems fishy, to be perfectly honest. So now this is where I'm going to stop, because if I keep reading this is going to bore you to death. This is kind of what I've been thinking and kept to myself for a long time. The cache, so whenever they have done a wipe, and I've been part of the 17.2 wipe and the 18 wipe, and this is what I've thought. There is no, why when they do a wipe I still have the game, the ships that I purchased with money. I have 2 of them. When they wipe it, why do I still have those? They should be wiped clean, right? No. They're somehow saving that, or using ones and zeros, or yes and no, enabled, disabled, because that's about all I know for coding, is somehow being turned on and turned off when they do a wipe. Why is it that all the ships that I buy with in-game money can't be turned on and turned off with either a 0 or a 1, a yes or a no, or enable and disabled? I agree with what this poster's saying. There should be no need to wipe everything if the database can be scripted to do so, to let us keep our money and let us keep our rep and let us keep our ships and let us keep the items that we bought in the game. Why, when they first started this off, oh, it's going to be a partial wipe? So you can do half a wipe and let us keep our stuff, but when it comes to a full wipe, you can't let us keep our stuff. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. Why are we getting into the last week of what possibly might be 3.18.0 and get 0.1? Why is it that they are taking the Vulture and the Scorpius Antares out of the store? So that way when 0.1 drops again, people will open up their damn wallets, throw out $150 to $195 for the starter package for the Vulture, and another $240 for the Scorpius all over again. I'm starting to think, I love this game. So what I'm about to say is probably a hot take. It's probably controversial. They just want our money. Now I'm going to be hit with the, well, it's an alpha. They need your money for more funding, so that more funding goes into the game and gives us more things that we can play with, more features, yada, 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 this, that, and the other. I'm waiting for Theaters of War. I watched a trailer the other day from 2016. Where are my freaking mag boots? Me and Star-Lord and Marcus and Canop and everybody else that played this game has been asking for a long time, and I didn't even know it was a real thing at one point. We've been asking, oh, we should have mag boots. Oh no, that's Lost Tech right next to Night Vision. They have it. They have it. They showed it in 2016. They showed it in a trailer. They showed it in gameplay, where they had a guy wearing mag boots connected to the hull of his ship and the inside of his ship while there was explosive decompression. Why don't we have those things in game? Don't give me this, oh, well, you don't understand game development. This is not, this is, you already created it. Why haven't you put it in? Okay, so I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. All right, we're gonna discuss CIG and Star Citizen in relation to another game. If you haven't been watching the channel lately, I've been playing a lot of DayZ with Grumpy Eye, and I'm gonna connect these two things together. First, we're gonna cover DayZ and Star Citizen as far as PvP, PvE, Death of a Spaceman, and DayZ's death system. Alright. So, in Star Citizen, currently, in the current game, if you die, you're not losing anything. Yeah, you might lose the stuff that you were wearing and the stuff that was in your ship. Whether it be because the database, you can't see me doing quotations, because the database screwed up, or because somebody took it. You can always go back and corpse run. What are you really losing? If you don't have subscriber gear on, you lost nothing. Everything can either be bought at one of the in-game stores, or you can run back down to a bunker and farm it again in 25 to 30 minutes anyways. So you lost nothing except for a little bit of your time. Now let's talk DayZ. Oh, wait. In the future, Star Citizen and CIG has planned Death of a Spaceman, where after you die so many times, your character is dead. It's dead. You have to create a new one. You suffer death taxes. Your rep takes a hit, and now you get a new character. And they get all your equipment, they get all your ships, they get everything that was left behind, almost like an inheritance. And your new character is next of kin. Okay, cool. I was extremely against that idea. Then DayZ. I started playing DayZ, and I have both done killing and I have been killed. How DayZ works is if you die, your character is dead. The stuff that they were wearing is probably shot full of holes and is either ruined or badly damaged, so it all has to be fixed. And the person that just killed you is more than likely looting your corpse as you are hitting respawn. And not only that, you don't have a ship, you don't have a car, you don't have any of that. You can't just run up to an ASOP terminal and hit boop, file claim, wait 1 minute and 90 seconds, boop, recover, boop, send a hanger, and you're off and you're ready to go again. And all you lost was, what, 3.5 minutes of your time, because you more than likely have stashes and stashes and stashes of guns and armor and med pens and med guns and tractor beams and the multi-tool and everything else that you need sitting at that base that you set your respawn to. DayZ, you die, your ass is back to the coast. Me and Grumpy figured out it's about 10.5 kilometers from the coast to our base. It's almost a 35-40 minute run from this coast to where our base is. And along the way, you're going to have to fight zombies, other players, hunger, cold, and dehydration, and possibly getting sick along the way. I didn't think that Star Citizen needed to have that. Now after playing DayZ, I can't get enough of it. The anxiety that comes with just going out to loot a few houses or a military base and not knowing if somebody's watching you from the tree line with a sniper rifle, it's insane. It doesn't transfer very well to a stream, but I am borderline PvP shaking, where the adrenaline is way up, my armpits are sweating, I'm getting a sweaty butt crack, the whole thing, because I don't know if that's going to be the last time I bring that character out with all that cool gear that I just found. I didn't think Star Citizen needed it. Now I say Star Citizen needs it. Are we a long way from that? Yes, we are. Now, once again, let's talk about DayZ and their database versus Star Citizen and their database. Yes, it's true DayZ is not of the same scale as Star Citizen, so it's not a perfect one-to-one representation. Every 2 hours on the servers that I play on, there is a server reset. It gets rid of any of the bogus crap that's been laying around for too long. It wipes it out. All the doors on buildings are closed again. If it's been long enough, things will respawn in those buildings. The zombies get put upright and get put back into different respawn locations. The players stay exactly where they are. Their gear stays exactly where it is. But the server, in all intents and purposes, has been wiped, relayed back down, and everything is put back, including your character with all the gear, all your guns, all your ammo. If you were sick, you're still sick. The zombies that you just killed are back upright and back in the area that you are in, and you have to wait about 3 minutes to get back into that server. Star Citizen, on the other hand, everything persists. Oh, and that's the other thing. In DayZ, everything persists. You throw something on the ground, it persists there until the next server reset. Now, there are certain items that will stay there longer than the server reset. Cars are one of them. If you bury a backpack out in the woods, that'll stay there for 2 weeks. Cars will stay for 24 hours. If you put a tarp on a car, the car stays for as long as the tarp is on it. If you take the tarp off, the timer starts. You got 24 hours. If I take a gun and I want to keep that gun somewhere else, and I just throw it on the ground in a bush, and I want to come back to it, it'll be there until the next server reset. Star Citizen, there is no server reset. Servers don't just reset. Well, we kind of get a reset. But before 3.18, we kind of got a reset, and that was called 30K. Either the memory got to be too much, or the amount of assets in that server got to be too much, which I guess would go back to being a memory issue, and the server would freak out and shut down. And every once in a while, because you can't choose your own server, you would get right back into the server that 30K'd, and you could see that it was a clean server because all the AI, thanks for coming by, Claudio, you can see the AI is lined up in specific ways. The stuff that you had left around is not there anymore. So why is it that one game, oh, DayZ does have wipes, like complete wipes where the server gets completely wiped clean, but they let you know months ahead of time, look, there's a server wipe coming, so get your fun in and get it out, because in 1 month or 2 months, the server is going to be wiped clean and you have to start over again. Your base is going to be gone, your cards are going to be gone, your guns are going to be gone, everything's going to be gone. But they let you know. They let you know. Star Citizen, you get no advance notice except for maybe the day before, the day of. When they wipe you, it's not like a server restart. They wipe you out of everything. All your money's gone, all your stuff is gone. And it's not for a fun thing. It's because the database has been corrupted, or there's been too many exploits, or too many people have done this thing, or too many people have done that. There's never real good reason behind it. It seems to me, judging on what this guy is saying, and Odin Avenger and this Jiggity go back and forth multiple times, and they even get intercepted by a few other guys, all of which are in database IT. I think that's what you would call it. They know what they're talking about, and two of the 3 or 4 guys, actually 3 of the 4 guys that I read on here earlier today, all basically agree that there is no way in hell that CIG can't separate the player bought in game and the player bought with cash ships and keep them saved, because they're doing it right now. They're keeping the player bought ships saved with cash, but they're letting the ones that were bought in game go away. And all it is add a simple 1 or a 0, an enable or a disable, or a yes or a no. There's no, like, if they were to actually wipe everything clean out of the database like they said they would, nobody would have any of their cash purchase ships. Those would all go away. But somehow they're saving it. So it's not a database thing. I think this is just I think this is more smoke being blown up our rear ends. I should have reached out and contacted Grumpy or Marcus or Canop or Starlord X or any one of those guys to come on here and give me their thoughts, because I don't think I'm wrong. I might be not knowledgeable on the subject, but I don't think I'm wrong. I think right now they could actually enable all of the players that have been stuck with the 40Ks like myself and just go in there. And it's got to be a user ID issue within the coding in the database. They can create a script, run the script, and everybody would be out within a few hours and be able to start playing the game. I have a feeling that this comes down to money. Why else would they have taken ships out of the pledge store? Because I guarantee you, as soon as 3.18.1 drops, that day or the next day, the Vulture will be back in the store. The Scorpius and Taurus will be back in the store. The Corsair will be back in the store. The Medical Pisces will be back in the store. What was the other one that came out of the store? I think the Cutter is back already, but I think they took the Cutter out for a little bit. All of those will be back in the store. But it's getting late, guys, and I'm starting to feel it pretty hard. I've been staying up for far too long with Grumpy. I enjoy hanging out with Grumpy, but it's just, I got to get some sleep. I will be on tomorrow. I will go back and fix my Star Wars rant. I can't believe I had that muted. I had a feeling I double hit it, but I didn't think I did. So, guys, I'm going to call it here tonight. I really appreciate everything you guys have given me as far as coming here every night and listening to an old man rant about video games and Star Wars. I get a lot of satisfaction when you guys give me the shit I deserve for fucking up. So you guys are the best. I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's keep this up. Let's keep the community growing of cool people that like games, want to hang out, and throw some shit. Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I am Spring. Thank you. If you're in chat, I haven't seen you, but thank you. I appreciate it. Guys, you all have a good night, a good afternoon, or a good morning, and I'll see you on the next stream. And with that, so long, and thanks for all the fish. You guys have been great. I'll see you next time. Peace.